Out here exploring today. Been trying to pull this thing off for like 5 years. Let's hope today is the day. All I'm trying to do is just get someplace. That's all. Trying to find old home sites. Let's hope it doesn't take us that long to get there. But we're going to have to go through places like this just to find it. Classic. Land development terracing, not farm terracing that I know of yet. I swear, man, if I see some trail cam, I'm going to step back and throw up 2 middle fingers. Man, you guys crazy. Let's hope these places might be a lot closer than what they seem to be on good old Google Earth. Man, look at me out here, going to be looking like a giant teddy bear in the wilderness. I'm a little bit too close to the road. It's weird. It's like people going to see us. But when I drive by half the speed they're going and deliberately try to see someone in the woods, I don't see jack. So how could they ever see us? I'm looking, ain't nothing like exploring. You don't know what you're ever going to come across. I'm trying to look for that gap within the trees up here. Try to sneak across through the high grass. Let's not say sneak. It's not like I'm trying to sneak a fastball past Barry Bonds. Because there's no sneaking a fastball past him, trust me on that. But when it comes to this hobby, that's one thing you got to understand about it. You got to give the babies out here time to grow. After being planted, transplanted, whatever. To give us that coverage. You know. It wasn't like this 3 years ago. I can tell you that much right now. We're definitely going to need that coverage today. Kind of like a Tom Glavine fastball covering the outside part of the plate against the right-hander. I'm out here trying to find some old home sites. I think I saw some rooftops and stuff like that from back in like 1955, that kind of thing. We got some evidence right here. Check this thing out. I think we're too far away though. Old farm and stuff right here, guys. Look at that. Man, if it was only intact. I know where I can find one intact though. It's big though. Cool find for today. Not too hot. This might be an old road right here. There's a lip up here. And we're stepping inside of one too. Check this out. Yeah, that's a good sign right there. Who knows what's up here? That's why I'm here, to take a look around. I mean no harm out here, I'm just chilling. I just like finding cool places that I haven't been to before. I don't feel achieved until I find the achievable. More evidence right here. You want to say get it out of the ground? Can't do it, guys. It's buried. Yeah, okay, all right. Old road equals old bottle dumps from like the 60s and 70s. Man, that scared the crap out of me right there, man. That pine log that sticks out perfectly out in front of us. That looked like a concrete slab, looked like a sidewalk or something. I was like, heck no. All right. Well, on Google Earth, I noticed that there were some large trees of life, and I think they're still out here somewhere, but they're closer to another part further down. Man, it's gonna take me forever to get through here, especially if you find stuff like this. I know it's probably not old. Westinghouse, probably. Corn syrup, whatever. All right, little guy, come on, hold on. You know me, I'm not the lumberman. I'm a different kind of lumberman. Gotta save the little ones, so we can come out later and find their giant cells out here, you know. Look at me out here saving trees of life. Ain't nothing like getting those EVPs on audio. You saved me. You saved my life. Heck yeah. Alright, that's one thing I'm looking for. Oh, I think there's something else over here. Looks like a chunk of metal. I can see stuff like that from a mile away, man. It'd be nice if I could find some major things out here. I mean, you know, just lay my eyes on stuff. That's cool. Not really litter. It's a different kind of, you just got to give it time. I mean, the stuff that is hardcore, though. Not plastic and not styrofoam. What do we have here? Whatever it is, it's old enough. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Man, that's a big hunk of metal right there, though. See, discoveries like this kind of point you into another direction to find cool things. I knew that there was some kind of something out here. What the heck is that supposed to mean? I knew that, according to Google Earth, there was like some kind of structure right here, close to the clearing. But when I line it up to that dang subdivision up there, I think it might have been right behind somebody's house. Cool find. Whatever the heck it is, I don't know. I think it's some old part of a vehicle. All right. See, I don't know. People been digging. Probably when they were surveying the land. I think we're getting close to that one spot. Gotta duck down low. Evidence of old roadage right here. Gravel. There's an old bucket in here. Some old rocks. If I see a modern silt fence from 2002, there's an old tire right there. I think it's close behind us. Like I said, you just gotta give it time out here. These trees grow really fast. There was probably no coverage out here at all a long time ago. And why the heck are you going to slow down over there, man? Come on. Is this the gap I'm looking for? No, this can't be the gap. It's more grassy than anything. I know you're going to say this looks like it could be part of the old home site, or one of them. It's grass. I'm looking for a pile of rubble. Alright, we got the neighborhood kids. Come out here. I'm not going to show you what's in front of me. I know it's common for this to be out here. That's one thing you got to be careful of when you're doing this hobby, though, when you're next to main roads and highways, or whatever you're doing. You got to keep a lookout. Make sure there's no homeless camp or something, or you'll be ran off like you'll never believe. I'm not going to say that there's one here to my left. It's a pile of chairs. Look like someone just took it from their back deck. Home Depot bucket. Yeah. They need to pick up their garbage. I think this is the gap I'm looking for. I see grass. I see an old tree. All right. And I see some Vaseline. Here's one old tree right here. Yeah, the old home site, according to Google Earth, was right up here on the left. Let's leave it there, man. Probably part of an exhaust. That's a cool little hangout for some wildlife or something. They got the sunroof all up in that thing. Skylights. All right. Yeah, when you see the 1980s 2-liter containers, that ain't nothing. That's nothing right there. What is it about the paint cans and the baby food jars and the lawn chairs? You're gonna say, rake that thing out. Of course, the milk glass Pond's jar. And you already know what's up. You're gonna find a Coke bottle and it's gonna be busted. Yeah, you can tell this is no dumping ground from like the 70s and 80s. People came out here. Evidence of plastic bags. Carpenter ants climbing on the back of my neck. Litter. There's the ancient white oak way over there on that side. Man, that sucks for real though. I gotta get high though. I'm looking, hold on. I see some geometries. Hope you like my little exploring videos. I'm looking for that one shard of broken Fire King jadeite. You know, it's always going to be out here somewhere. But I definitely don't need to be rubbing through this thing with bare hands and broken glass. Yeah, I gotta be high enough where people can't see us crossing the green space over here. The green spot. Cause it's right at a dang intersection. Man, you guys crazy. Let me guess. The coffee creamer jar. Oh, it's glass. Hey, would you look at that thing? It's got a curler on the inside. Cool find for today. Another one. Once we get past this line, we're going to be fine. Every time I hear the good old boys start to slow down their exhaust or their whatever, it makes me think that they saw something. You know, cause they're like us. They're very curious about exploring. So they're always looking in the woods trying to see that face. Old school for real. All right, come on guys. I know it's intact. Carpenter ants doing their thing. Thing's been sitting there for a while. I forgot what you call these things. The yellow things. Buttercups? No, that's something else. They're always around old home sites. And they keep growing. They keep having going. I mean, they'll grow for decades. Yep, we've got evidence. Okay, here's one of the old homes right here. Old cedar. A pile of rocks. Piles of granite. No bricks, of course. There's another pile of metal right there. Hold on, I got carpenter ants crawling on my face. Yeah, this is definitely where something used to be. At least we found one of them. There's a brick right there. Okay, good. They had electricity too. Check this out. There's an old school electrical thing right there. Weird. It's like I feel deep down inside I gotta do this thing. Explore. Once I cover every ounce of land, the better I feel. Huh. Like I accomplished something. But one thing I gotta keep in mind about this dang hobby though, when it comes to finding places like this, exploring. Somebody is always going to chime in on audio with something that's going to have to be researched later, possibly recovered. The graveyard is behind you. You missed it. Look to your left. I'm over here. Find the stash of money. Old quarters. I have lost. They're over here. You know, all that kind of stuff. All right, here's the boundary line with a 175-year-old oak tree right here. Da Vinci style. Now I guess I'm in the hardwood section. Dang. Ain't nothing like it. Bam. I'm gonna have to guesstimate on this one. I'll give this one a rating of fair condition. Because it's not fair that we have to cut them down. Ancient white oak. Oh, it's not a white oak. It's something else. But I'd say at least 110 on this one. Beautiful. Oh, it is a white oak. They're just covered in vines that overshadow the branches. So she's sitting on about 175. Gargantuan. Another one for the book. And it wasn't this one that I was looking for. The other ones are far away from here. Thank you for this discovery today. Of course it's busted, go figure. Not that old either. Not Da Vinci style. It's kind of like everything in life. When there's one, there's got to be more. I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast. Ain't nothing like this hobby. For real, though. Already found some cool things so far. Bottle dumps, pieces of metal, old ancient trees, new ones that are in the process of growing. I wonder if there's going to be an ancient trail tree out here. I know there's older trees out here because the original ones I'm looking for are far away from where I am now. I think they might be closer. You can never judge the distance. I'm looking. Always end up looking right at a trail cam at the wrong time. You know, you spin around real quick and there's one right in your face. It's almost like you can feel the energy of it. Okay, there's some leaned up against that tree. Got a pile of stuff over here. Let's go take a look. Probably roofing material. There's piles of stuff all up in this place. They got anything out here worth recovering? an old car seat. There's a giant tire. Where's the duffel bag full of jewelry? I mean, there were some really significant structures out here back in the 50s and 60s. There's gotta be something left over. I mean, I don't have a bag or anything on me. Nothing I can... Hold on, you know, ain't no dang trail cam. See, I'm not the only one that comes out to explore. And that's what I was forgetting. Little grocery bags to pick up the garbage out here. What a shame. Another old access road right here. Means James and Ryan came out here back in 1987 and probably came out here to dump their garbage when it was just a cut-through road. Yep, go figure. The roofing material that I thought was in the other pile, it was ahead of schedule, but behind at the same time, in front of us, but I was behind in finding it. What you know about that? Maybe I need to speed things forward like that. Maybe that was them trying to tell me what was out here. I see a can. I guess that's a sign that they're trying to say that we can make it through here. I tell you what though, ain't nothing like walking through these pine zones. You don't hear the crunching of leaves. Not that saying that's a bad thing. I mean, that's a different ASMR type of situation. I'm talking about it doesn't, you know, crack too much. It's quiet. And then it's easy to see everything. Mostly, that is. What the heck is that? I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going. Of course, it's a half-gallon. Uh-oh, there's another clearing over here. That's not good. Tell me if you see a giant 400-year-old oak tree sitting up on top of a hill. Alright, here's how it goes down in places like this. All the pine zones like this, with all the terracing, that was the green open landscape around the houses, the barns and stuff. I'm looking, I think I'm on another old access road. That's a cool little pile of rocks. Got some shoes, got some water, tarp, pillow, An empty purse. Man, they're gonna make me want to come out here and clean all this up, man. And then do what? Walk 3 miles back to the parking location? With 50 pounds of garbage? No. Take the bags next to the road and come back to get it. Just like Grandpa's house. There's the old road right there. Another old access road, driveway, whatever. What's that, another metal container? No, another dang plastic bucket. Guys need to trash better, more reliable, hardcore things. You know, the real deal Holyfield stuff. You're going to say you need to follow the old road. It's where the bottle dumps are going to be. I mean, this is a big landscape, though. There's no way I can zigzag back and forth out here. It would take forever. It's already 3 o'clock. Man, what am I talking about already 3 o'clock? I'm worried about this, though. Every time I do something like this, when it comes to exploring, I don't want to say this. I don't. Especially when the trees of life are out here listening. Well, every time I come exploring in a place for a first time I've been trying to make it out to for the longest time, it vanishes within about 6 months to a year. And they roll on out here and develop the land. So it makes me feel like it's my fault. I'm the one who's always trying to keep it going. Trying to keep these places alive, you know? Make sure it's still here. So we can keep coming out to be within it. And then I'll come driving by another 6 months later and it'll all be wiped out. Not fair. There's another weird zone to my left. We're getting back in one of these little pine zones. Look at that ancient beech tree right here. Probably around 70 years old. Yeah, I'm about to go take a look up there. There's another one of those grassy zones, probably where one of the old home sites used to be. I don't have to ping my location on Google Earth. I have no idea where I am. Great, another grassy zone. I mean a line of grass. Man, that's another great thing I love about this hobby. I was going in the entire Wrong direction. What you know about that, man? Why are they trying to get me to go in this direction, man? You entities out here. Man, you guys crazy. It's part of an old bumper. Yeah, I was getting too close to an intersection. And I'm trying to go deeper in the woods. Hey, another old bridge. Would you look at that? Another great find for today. Yeah, I need to be going up in this direction. I think I might have found the other home site, barn or something, where it used to be. Strange pieces of metal, buckets. Could have been a lightning rod right here for a chimney or something. Whenever you see that grass, you might be there at last. Beautiful piece of metal. Look at that. Too bad I keep forgetting the spray paint. But it's got natural spray paint on it. The moss. Beautiful. Where's the old wagon? Hey, look at that. See, they're going to make me rubberneck and turn around to see something like that. Dang, check out this heavenly spot right here, man. Boy. What's up, little butterfly? Man, you can take all this metal and cash in or make some kind of flat, perfect sculpture in your yard or something like that. Well, lean it up, weld it together, paint it, different colors, different panels, different colors. Man, look at this. Yeah, we're definitely close to where the old place used to be. I could tell because of this one. beautiful zone up in here. Just like heaven. Not real garbage out here either. What the heck is that thing? Another hunk of metal. So that's one thing you always gotta look at when it comes to old home sites. Besides the privet hedges, you gotta look for the willow oaks. And other things too. I bet this was old hunting land. Yeah, I'm kind of worried that this place is going to be wiped out, man. Look how beautiful this is. Everybody needs to come out and chill. Break out the Enos, the hammocks. No littering. What a masterpiece this is right here. What I'm always looking for. I could stand out here and just look at how pretty it is out here. And it's not even sunny out here yet. But it's beautiful as it is. Thank you, Lord, for this this day right here. Walking through the Garden of Eden. What's up, Sycamore? Where's a pile of bricks? Let's hope there won't be any piles of trees, if you know what I mean. Check out the size of these privet hedges. Oh, crap. Gargantuan. I was out in a place like this last spring, last summer, and I was talking about how pretty it was. On how they gave you a sense of security by just covering you. And someone screamed out, not screamed, but someone yelled out, yes. Because in a sense, places like this that have coverage, kind of like the trees, the oak trees in Savannah, that are over the roads and stuff like that when you're driving up and down the roads. The canopy of trees in places like that. It's almost like that is your home, the roof over your head. Let's go take a look at that. Probably modern dump stuff. Of course. Maybe I'll quit talking about where's the lawn chair at every time I find a heavenly spot. Because we always end up finding one. Maybe more than one. There's another one. Can't go without finding a broken toilet. Hold on. Would you look at that? Old school for real. You're gonna say, why aren't you taking it? It may be old school, vintage, but not as old as I like it. Got some things from the 60s, possibly. Probably from the 60s, but was dumped in the 70s. I pulled this thing out. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, this comb. I'm definitely recovering this thing. Why, I don't know. Just another memento for our travels. Look at that. You're going to say definitely 80s on that thing, not 70s. Well, it's got that 60s pattern on it, though. You're going to say, why are you keeping a comb? You don't have any hair on top of your head. Ain't nothing like exploring. What is it about the high heels? I mean, you know what I mean. It's nothing about it. It's just we always come across the same stuff in every dump. It's always the broken high heels, the shoes, oil containers, spray paint cans, whatever. Dang, that thing weighs a ton. Never get that thing out of there. What it is, I don't know. I definitely want to recover that thing, but I can't. It's way too big. Can't add it to the pocket. It's a long way back. I think that's just the extent of it. Someone's smoking the good stuff out here. Maybe it's a skunk. Gotta keep a lookout. It is a possibility that there could be a lot more closer to the main road, though. Now that's cool. Vintage, retro, Da Vinci style. Yeah, there's more out here. It's the same old crap though. More modern stuff. Terrible. Well, it is. I can't tell if that came from the new subdivision when it was built back in like the early 2000s, late 90s, whatever. And people get lazy. They drag their garbage out to the woods to make it nature's problem. Able to come out and afford these fancy houses that are worth a lot of money. And then this is the thanks that you give it. Give the landscape. I know it probably wasn't them. It's probably from back in the 80s and the 90s before they developed anything. And if I see some giant TV set down here, I'm gonna crap my drawers. But if I see a giant ancient beech tree that's over 180 years old, I'm going to be extremely happy. Massive. Dang, I think I'm just halfway there, but this is like the third load of roofing material. What is it about the roofing shingles you don't like? Construction materials, man. I mean, you just trash it the wrong way. I'm looking. There's another massive baby over here. I know you don't care about my different kind of hunting for trees of life. Look at this one. Definitely around 165 on this one. And it's nowhere near the water. Beautiful. Gargantuan. Thank you for another epic find today. A little bit too close to the road that I want to be. Another massive baby right here. Old school for real. Yeah, I don't want to get too close to the road, because all I'm going to see is nothing but garbage up and down the side of the embankment. And it'll keep me busy for the next 6 months trying to pick it all up. Man, what a disaster out here. I bet a lot of people come out here though. Crap all over the place. No, I'm not going to let you see it. Everything is recent, kind of. Well, there goes a brand new tire if you want it. Dang. I know, tell me about it. Extremely bad. Extremely sad. Can't find places like this without the oil containers, without the hoses. Without the plastic lawn chairs. But thankfully enough, we got another one right up here in the woods. Don't know how old though. At least they're still living. Massive. Beautiful. Gargantuan red oak. The size of this thing right here. Probably not that old. Probably about maybe 125, 130. Another perfect find for today. Yeah, it's a red oak. Check out that waistline. Massive. It's another thing about these trees of life that I love so much, how strong they are. They can just lean up a rock over the course of a decade. A rock that probably weighs a good 535 pounds. Can never beat the strength of a tree of life. I know that for a fact. What a crying shame. It's like being in the ancient times, 4,000 years ago. 1,614. Coming across something like this that predates your culture by about 80 years or something, you know. Wonder where it all went. Can't read it. Gonna have to Google that thing. Probably would have been worth $50 if it was fully intact. Flora line. USA 480. Beautiful piece. $1976. Scared the crap out of me. Man, you guys crazy. Finally found another one. Another one anyways. Got the elevated plateau right here. Foundation. Stones all around. Lining the edges. And then you got the old school well right here. How deep does it go? Nobody knows. Boy, does that ever look scary the closer you get. Oh, crap. That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny at all, squirrel. Had me jumping, man. Yeah, this, well, it's deep, but not that deep. Tall person like us, we can climb out of this thing. Still scary though. Part of an old school stove right here. I'm waiting for the fully intact crock. Small enough to carry out of here. What a crying shame again. Well, I got what I asked for. Just broken. No, what a shame. Crap, somebody's already been out here. You can tell something's been moved right here within the past week or two. Gotta keep a lookout. Man, this place is practically brand new. Vinyl siding? Gotta keep a lookout for the snakes. Not really old school. New school. They got a door being used as a shelf. Just don't step on anything that likes to strike back. Old school Tupperware stuff. Great find for today. I know, ultra modern. At least they didn't leave behind the Christmas decorations like we always find in places like this. At least they took them with them. Nothing major. We'll take that back. Everything we come across due to our curiosities is major. Almost had me crapping in my drawers. Finally found another one. By this old school road right here. I didn't notice it until I turned around and saw something. Another gargantuan one out here. Beautiful. Massive. Probably not 200. I'd say closer to at least 175. Ain't nothing like letting it live. For real. That's like what, the third one of the day? Let it live to be at least 500. This is probably one of the ones that I found on Google Earth. With it spread at the top, filling up the landscape out here. I think there's another one down here. It's what I try to go down here and look at before I notice this one. But we're approaching a gully right here, a drop down, and I'm afraid to look inside of it. I know it's not going to be good. I'm afraid to look. It's garbage all out here. Any fully intact Coke bottles? All right, let's take a look. Dang. Look at all the refrigerators. I know what you're saying. You're going to say, why don't you jump down in there and see if you can find something cool? Look how far down that is. I see a level, construction level. What a crying shame. I don't know, but that might have been the tree I was looking for. I'm not sure though. I can't tell. Look at me out here creeping, trying to find trees of life that I spotted on Google Earth. The spread of the branches, the coverage out here. And I'll do anything to find them. And I think I just found the main one I was looking for. Dang, the things I go through to find trees of life. Right up here on the hill, another one. Thank you, Lord, for this discovery. I knew I saw something thick through the brush up in here. Hold on. Dang. If only they trashed the tape measure. Maybe I should have been looking for one of those. Man, this is the one that I was actually looking for. But thank the Lord we found them all, right? Dang. What you know about that? Ain't nothing like this hobby. What is it about me? Just going out looking for trees of life. And she's right next to the road too. Another perfect discovery. The main one I came out looking for today. This one's definitely over 210, 220. I can tell you that right now. Hold on. I'm looking around. Yeah, this one's definitely over 250. About dang time. Quite the recovery on this one. I know you're going to tell me I should have had my tape measure. I didn't know she was going to be this big though. Absolutely no clue she was going to be this big. I don't know until I go. I'm definitely going to have to find my way through the wilderness again. Only with the tape measure next time. Man. I don't know about you, but this might be the largest one I've ever found. I don't know though. That is quite the circumference. Well, that did the job, for real. About 14 feet circumference. Quite the measurement. Quite the calculation. Roughly around 250 years old on this baby right here. How come they're always almost exactly around 250 years old? Let's pray that she lives to be even more than that. Trying to make my way out of here. It's like 5:45, man. What the heck do I get myself into? I'm so far away from the parking location. Man, what do I get myself into out here, man? Man, I'm crazy. Ain't nothing like adventure. Won't be looking around on the way back, but I'll tell you something though. I don't know if we're in the right spot, but I'm still trying to follow those EVPs. When they said little children's graves, they live close to the highway. And we just discovered possibly 2 different home sites out here that are close to the highway. And one probably dates back to like the 30s, at least the 30s. But I think the next time I come out, I know exactly who to ask. The oldest ones out here, they will know exactly where any graves were, children or not, that date back a very long time ago. Quite the hobby. Massive. Thank you for still living. I'm looking. Well, that was a little bit interesting, a little bit scary. I don't know if you can still hear him or not. Way up on that hill. There's kids up there. Right when I'm passing something. And they started screaming. Little children's graves. They live close to the highway. Probably not what I'm thinking about. Probably just a pile of field stones and nothing more. Ain't nothing like exploring. You never know what you're going to find. If anything at all, really. the heck? They know me like that? You talk about yin and yang and backwards and forwards at the same time. They try to burn an ice cream cone.
Man, you guys crazy.